Hello friends, and welcome to the next part of your final project, your holiday shopping extravaganza. We are going to talk about something quite fun, and that is taking a percentage off of something. So you will see this at stores when you see coupons and discounts. It'll say 20% off, 10% off, 50% off. And it's really nice because you get the opportunity to take some money off of your price. So we're going to get the opportunity to do that within our project. But first, we're going to talk about what that looks like. I want to review real quick what percentages are. So the word percent actually means out of 100. So if you get, let's say you get 3 questions out of 10 correct on a quiz. First of all, you did not do very well on that quiz, but if you got 3 out of 10, that would be a 30%. And we use percentages because we like to compare things. So we like to look at comparisons of grades and comparisons of lots of different information. And if we put everything out of 100, so in other words, the denominator, if it was a fraction, would be 100 out of 100, then it's easy to compare. If I got 3 out of 10 on one quiz, but I got 33 out of 100 on a test, how can I compare to see if I did better? But if everything is out of 100, it's a lot easier to see. Okay, so if I look at the review, I know some of you reviewed this in your math classes in the last few days, and some of you learned it last year. In order to turn a fraction to a decimal, we would divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so this example here uses 3/4. So if I'm taking 3/4 and I'm trying to turn it into a decimal, I'm going to type into my calculator 3 divided by 4. Make sure the 3, the numerator, goes into the calculator first. We're always used to or think that we have to put the bigger number into the calculator first, and that's not true. We have to put the numerator into the calculator first. And we always know that a fraction sign means divide. So if I take my calculator and I divide 3 by 4, I'm going to get 0.75. So now I have a decimal. If I want to turn that decimal, that 75 hundredths, into a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100. So the magic number here, out of 100, we're going to be using 100 a lot. We can do there are 2 different ways we can multiply something by 100. We can either move our decimal place 2 places to the right for those 2 zeros in 100, or we can do it on our calculator, okay? I'm going to go ahead and move my decimal 2 places to the right, because to me that just is easier, okay? So as a percent, that would be 75%. So if this was a quiz, 3 out of 4 was your score. 3 divided by 4 is 75 hundredths. Multiply by 100, or 75%. Now, in today's activity, we're going to be taking percentages and going the other way. So let's say I had 75%, and I wanted to change it into a decimal. I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to divide by 100, or move it 2 places to the left. Okay, so that is what we're going to be working on today. So I have a couple of examples we're going to work through. The first one, we're going to write down the steps as we work through. So here's our example. You're buying a pair of shoes for $58.75, but you have a 15% off coupon. So a lot of times you'll go into a store and it'll say 15% off or 20% off, and you're like, okay, great, but what does that actually mean? Because 15% off of $10 is very different than 15% off of $58.75. So we're going to use a method to figure out what that means. The question is, what's the final price you will pay? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is change our coupon percent, so in this case it's 15, into a decimal. Okay, so we know to go from percent to decimal, we're going to take that percent, we have an invisible decimal point right there, remember it's always at the end, and we're going to move it 2 places to the left, or we're going to divide by 100. 2 places to the left means dividing by 100. So now we have the decimal place there. So it's 1500ths. Then we're also going to change 100 into a decimal, so that 100% into a decimal. So we're going to take 100 and divide by 100, or move the decimal 2 places to the left, and we get 1, or 1.00. Okay, now we're dealing with coupons or discounts today, so we get to subtract because we want to take some money off of our price. So we're going to subtract the coupon decimal from our percent decimal, or our 1.00. Okay, so in our calculator, we're going to type in 1.00, or 1 minus 1500ths. Okay, so we're taking our 100% decimal, or 1, and our 15% decimal, or 0.15, and we're going to do a subtraction problem. So 1 minus 1500ths is 0.85. Okay? So basically what we've just done there is figured out what's the difference between 100% and the coupon that we're taking off. Okay, so now we have to find out, we're going to pay, basically we're paying 85% of this price. All right, so we're taking this price right here and we're going to pay 85% of it. We're not going to pay 100% of it because we got the discount. So we're going to pay 85% of it. So we're going to multiply. We know that the word of means multiply. So we're going to multiply the remaining decimal by the price. Okay? So in this blank, you actually need to write the word price. Okay? But I showed the operation too. So we're going to multiply the remaining decimal by the price. So I'm going to take 0.85, that's our decimal, times the price of $58.75. And I'm going to get 49 and 9.375 10,000ths. Okay? But we know that when we're dealing with money, we only want 2 decimal places. Okay? There's no such thing as this in money. So I'm going to round appropriately. I'm going to take 49, and I need 2 decimal places, so I know I need the 9, and then that 3 is where we're going to round 2. So if I look to the right of the 3, I see a 7, so that's going to bump that 3 up to a 4. If that 7 was a 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, then I would keep it at 93. But since it's a 5 or above, I'm going to give it a shove, and I'm going to make it 94. Okay, so our total price is going to be $49.94. Now that doesn't include sales tax. That's going to be the next step of your project. So let's do a few more examples to make sure that we know exactly what we're doing. Okay, there is a sale on earbuds for 75% off. What will you pay for the earbuds if the original price is $24.99? Okay, so we're going to start with our percent off. Ooh, 75% off. That's a real good coupon, friends. And we are going to change that 75% into a decimal. So we're going to put our invisible decimal there and move it 2 places to the left. We're dividing by 100, 2 places to the left. Then we're going to take 100% and we're going to move it into a decimal. So we're again moving it 2 places to the left, our invisible decimal. So we have 1. It's always going to be 1, so you don't have to show this step every time, but it's good to know what you're doing as you're going along. You're going to take 1 minus that coupon, because we like to take things off, and I did not line that up well, friends, so please don't do that. And you're going to use your calculator or line it up correctly, and you would get 2,500ths. So we're paying that percent of the price. We're paying 25% of the price. So I'm going to multiply 25% or 25 hundredths, because we've turned it into a decimal, times my price of $24.99. Okay, so I took 0.25, our remaining decimal, times our price, and I get 6.2475. I only want these first two decimal places, but this 7 here is going to move that 4 up to a 5. So I am only paying $6.25 for my earbuds. All right. One more example here. You have a Nintendo Switch that is $199.99, because nothing can ever just be $200, right? We've always got to have the $99.99. There's a Black Friday sale, which we missed Black Friday, but you know, some stores honor it well after Black Friday. So we're going to assume that that's the case here. For 20% off of all gaming consoles. Yes. How much will you pay for your Nintendo Switch? All right. So we're going to go back up here and read our instructions. We're going to change our coupon percent to a decimal, and then change 100% to a decimal, and then subtract. Okay? So my coupon percent is 20. To change that to a decimal, I divide by 100, or move my decimal 2 places to the left. There's my new number. I'm taking 100 and turning it into a decimal. We've done that several times, so I know that that's 1.00. Then I'm going to subtract. So I'm taking 1.00 and taking away 20 100ths, because it's a coupon, so I get to subtract it off my price. So I am going to pay 80% of my price. Okay? Then I'm going to take this remaining decimal. Since I'm doing something of something, I know I need to multiply by that $199.99. I'm going to use my calculator for this problem. So 80 100ths times my price, $159.99, and that is a 2, so I do not have to round that 9 up. So my price for the Nintendo Switch is $159.99. There should be a decimal point, not a colon. Okay? Let me rewrite that. All right, so now you are going to get a coupon book where you get the opportunity to take some prices or some percentages off of your prices. Use those coupons wisely. Make sure you end up under your $500 budget. And if you get stuck, you can always come back to this video, or you can go through and read the steps. Good luck, and we'll see you in the next step.